They slammed me into the pavement like I was nothing, like I was just another problem they needed to control, and for a few long seconds I remember thinking, yeah, this is how it ends for a lot of people, you know what I mean? Another headline nobody really reads, another video people argue about for a week, and then forget. What they didn't know, what nobody standing there knew yet, was that the badge hidden under my jacket was real. And in less than a minute, everything they thought they understood about power, about me, about that morning was about to fall apart. It was early, the kind of quiet weekday morning where suburbia pretends nothing bad ever happens. Brookstone Ridge looked perfect that day. Clean streets, fresh mulch around the trees, flags hanging just right on porches. I pulled into the gas station across from the police department because I had time to kill before walking in for my first official day. Yeah, first day. New police chief. I wanted a minute to breathe, to center myself, to think about the speech I'd planned in my head 100 times. I stepped out of the car jacket, pressed shoes clean, just another guy buying gas. And that's when I felt it. That look. That weight. You learn it young if you look like me. You don't even have to see it to know it's there. I glanced over and saw the patrol car, idling officer inside, staring a little too hard. I didn't think much of it at first. I wish I could say I was surprised by what happened next, but I wasn't. The cruiser lurched forward, tires squealing just enough to announce itself and cut me off before I even got the nozzle back on the pump. The door flew open. Officer Ryan Coulter stepped out like he owned the ground beneath my feet, chest out, jaw tight, hand hovering near his gun. "Hey," he snapped, "where'd you steal that car?" Yeah, that was his opening line. No hello, no reason. Just an accusation loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. I froze, not because I was scared, not yet, but because I knew how fast moments like this can go wrong. I turned slowly, hands visible, voice calm. "Is there a reason you're stopping me, officer?" That was mistake number one in his mind. Calm sounded like attitude. Confidence sounded like disrespect. He stepped closer, shoved my shoulder, then immediately pointed at me like I'd done something wrong. "Don't touch me," he said. "That's assault." I hadn't touched him, not even close. People were already watching. I could feel it. Phones coming out. That familiar mix of curiosity and discomfort. His partner showed up seconds later. Younger guy, eager, the kind that learns fast what behavior gets rewarded. They started circling me, one on each side like it was rehearsed. "Hands up," Coulter barked, even though my hands were already up. Slow. I moved slowly. Too carefully. Because I've been trained professionally and personally to survive situations like this. Brooks leaned toward the car and sniffed, exaggerated. "Smells like weed," he said. There it was. That lie. I closed my eyes for half a beat, then opened them. "There's nothing illegal in my vehicle," I said. "I don't consent to any searches." You could almost hear the click in Coulter's head. That was it. Backup was coming. Radios crackled. His voice got louder. "You hear this guy?" He laughed. "Thinks he knows the law." I said quietly, "I do." That didn't help. Within minutes, the gas station didn't feel like a gas station anymore. It felt like a stage. 3 patrol cars, 4 officers, lights flashing, a crowd forming, soccer moms, a contractor with a coffee cup frozen mid-sip, a teenager filming everything eyes wide. I stood there thinking about how many times I'd watched videos just like this, and how the man in them always looked so calm right before everything went sideways. I told them clearly so the cameras could hear. I am not resisting. I am complying with lawful orders. I do not consent to a search. Coulter stepped right into my space. I could smell his coffee breath. "You don't belong here," he muttered. "People like you never do." That word, "you," carried a lifetime of meaning. When I reached slowly into my jacket to get my wallet, he snapped. "He's reaching." Hands grabbed me from behind, hard, too hard. I was spun, shoved forward. My shoulder hit metal, then my face hit asphalt, hot, rough. A knee drove into my back. "Stop resisting," he yelled, even though I wasn't moving, even though everyone could see I wasn't moving. Pain flared sharp and bright, but my mind went somewhere else. Training, control, breathe. I focused on staying alive, on staying conscious, on documenting everything, because I knew in that moment this wasn't just happening to me. This was the system revealing itself in broad daylight. Coulter searched my pockets like he was angry that nothing illegal was there. Wallet, keys, phone, that's it. And that's when Brooks panicked. You could see it. Too many cameras. Too many witnesses. No justification. He stepped back, scratched his own neck. Hard red lines blooming instantly, then staggered like he'd been hit. "He attacked me," he shouted. The crowd exploded. That's a lie, someone yelled. A woman pointed up at the security camera. It's all on video. Brooks looked pale. Real pale. I said through clenched teeth, Officer Brooks just injured himself and blamed me. That's a felony. Coulter pressed his knee harder like he thought force could erase reality. But something had changed. The crowd wasn't quiet anymore. People were angry. And then, as they yanked me to my feet, my jacket tore more than it already had, and the sun caught it, a flash of metal just for a second. A retired teacher standing near the door squinted and said, "Wait, what's that on his belt?" Coulter looked down. I'll never forget his face. The color drained out of it like someone pulled a plug. I straightened as much as I could, pain screaming through my back, and adjusted my jacket so there was no hiding it anymore. The badge. Real. Heavy. Earned. "Officer Coulter," I said calmly. "Officer Brooks. As of this morning, I am your new chief of police." Silence. Not the awkward kind. The kind that presses on your chest. Brooks froze, hand still near his neck. Coulter's mouth opened-closed. "That's not possible," he whispered. I handed over my credentials. Signed. "Official." "It is," I said. "And everything that just happened is on camera." That's when power left the room. You could feel it. Apologies tried to form, then died. I didn't raise my voice, I didn't yell, I didn't threaten, I did something worse. I took control. "You are relieved of duty," I said. "Weapons, radios, now." And they listened. Because authority doesn't always shout. Supervisors arrived fast. Internal affairs, city officials, federal calls made. I gave a short statement to the press, blood still on my cheek, jacket torn. "This wasn't about me," I said. "This is about what happens when bias goes unchecked." Today, the cameras caught it. The officers were arrested. Charges followed. Careers ended. The video went everywhere. Millions of views. But that night, sitting alone in my new office, I didn't feel victorious. I felt heavy. Because I knew the truth. Without that badge, without that timing, without those cameras, this story would have ended very differently. And that's the part people don't like to talk about. Justice didn't happen because the system worked. It happened because the system accidentally targeted someone with power. So here's the question I want to leave you with. If I wasn't the chief, if I was just another guy buying gas, how do you think this would have ended? Comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you've seen. Because until we're honest about that, stories like this won't be rare. They'll just be invisible.